How would you like to make your first million? And today we have Amy Lenius with us. And Amy, she's the director of the group coaching at the Next Level University. Professional speaker, fellow professional speaker, event coordinator, fellow event coordinator, MC, and Next Level certified personal development coach. So, Amy, tell us what are the 5 steps that you recommend entrepreneurs in order to make the first?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Oh, I love this question, Harry. I'm so excited to be here. And I love that I got this question right before we hopped on. I love the agility that that creates as a speaker. I never like to know the questions ahead of time. So I'm super excited about this. I deeply believe in 5 things. I believe in self-belief, self-worth, your ability to be consistent, having systems in place like tracking and tracking those systems, knowing exactly what they are, and having some sort of mentorship. I would say those are my top 5.
Okay, so in your top 5, mentorship. There are some people, right, that think that mentoring is not necessary, and a lot of entrepreneurs try to go from 0 to 1 million, and they are stuck. Okay, and you met people that 20 years doing the same business. The other went to a restaurant, and the guy told me, "Look, I have this little restaurant for 20 years." I'm thinking, wow, you could have a chain of restaurants. You could be doing food supply. How come for so many years you couldn't grow? Sometimes it's like that, right? Lack of mentoring or lack of coaching. So do you really think that, or why do you think that mentoring and coaching have a lot of resistance among entrepreneurs? Where I believe that is the fastest path to being started. But what is your view on this?
There's a duality there. It is the fastest path because what you're doing is you're asking someone to help you condense the time it's going to take you. Because they have maybe a decade that they learned so many things throughout that decade, and they can teach you that and how to do it within a year or two. Because they can tell you all the mistakes they made, what worked, what didn't. But the duality is you should be wary of who is pouring into you, who's pouring into your dreams, your belief, your goals, your success. They need to be ahead of you in the areas that matter most. They need to be living by example in those areas. And they need to be willing to share these things with you and excited to be your mentor, to be your coach. There are so many red flags out there when it comes to coaching, especially when people say, okay, I'm going to get you this thing with little effort, little amount of time, energy, effort, and it's just going to be so easy. Right there, absolutely
Uh,
not. If someone tells you it's going to be just this quick fix, this quick, easy thing to make you
mhm,
$1 million,
mhm,
it should
mhm.
be a red flag right there.
Absolutely. Yes. So let's expand a little bit on this, Amy, because you see, the problem that we have in this industry is that the entrepreneur that start in the business say, okay, I'm gonna find my mentor and my coach. And they go to social media, they find somewhere with a Ferrari, with a Lamborghini, saying, look, I'm gonna show you how to do this easy and how to become millionaires so easy, and you don't have to do X, Y, and Z. And then people go choose this mentor. Well, nothing wrong with it. The problem sometimes is that they invest a lot of money to get very little value, and they say, you know what? I don't trust mentorship and coaching anymore, which they are all saying. But on the other hand, you have people like you, which is I'm very happy that you
And it,
share a view how it's gonna be, because I believe the same thing, right? This is
yeah.
no easy money. These programs, all those programs that we run, or sure you do also, they are no easy money. I become a millionaire easy. Well, everybody has to be aware that it's gonna take for you to go from 0 to 1, regardless that you have a mentor or you have a coach, that will help you a lot. Okay, but it's gonna take a lot of work and
Yes.
to make that
And
happen.
and some of the things might be simplistic, but it doesn't mean that they're easy. It doesn't mean that they're not going to take time,
Absolutely.
energy, and effort. And what's really sad, like you said, is there are more people out there looking good rather than being good. They're
Mm-hmm.
investing in looking better than
Mm-hmm.
actually becoming better and becoming high value and becoming worthy. And there is an unfortunate, just a super disconnect there because on social media, we want to appear good and appear successful, and people are getting taken advantage of regularly. And it's very sad.
So then, what our listeners, our entrepreneurs listeners, these people listen to this podcast, they are entrepreneurs, people that want to be entrepreneur or business owner of a small business, medium-sized business, large business. So, what secret do you have for our listeners? What they should be doing in order to hire the right mentor and the right coach for the organization? How they do that?
Don't make that choice lightly. Make sure that you're paying attention to them, their lifestyle, their business, and look at the through line of what they are doing. Does it align with your values, your beliefs? So, the company that I partner with, Next Level University, I'm an intrapreneur within that company. They are entrepreneurs. They created Next Level University, and they had me come in and partner with them. And I did that because they have a mission that I deeply believe in, and they have morals and integrity that I deeply align with. And so I allow, his name's Alan Lazarus, he's the CEO of Next Level University. I'm so grateful to have him as my mentor and my leader. And no one walks their walk better than this man, and that gives me so much faith and trust in him to see that he will do the work first and then see if it's going to work for someone else. He will never teach you, tell you you should be doing something without he himself being someone who does it. And that is something that you want to see. You want to see someone match your core values. So, three of us, the front facing people of this company, we deeply believe in holistic, that your love life, your health, your wealth, and your quality of life, all of it intertwined together. So I work with two men who are deeply integrous, dedicated to being healthy, integrous men, deeply invested in their relationships and having healthy relationships, making sure they themselves are physically, mentally, and emotionally fit. And they lead by examples in all of these areas, and they themselves focus so hard on the business that they're creating, on that wealth factor. And that aligns with me so much. So it was an easy yes for me to not only partner with them, but have them pour into me. So look for someone who aligns with your core values, is ahead of you in the thing that you want to be successful in, and go from there.
And then I think that the value alignment is when I agree 100% with you. Is one of the most important things that we should be looking at because at the end of the day, if we align in our values, rather than look out of the shiny object or look after whatever friends say, look, I'm having a lot of fun with this, right? Check if that mentor, that coach have the same values that you have, because the same value you have, it will, this coach and this mentor is not there to tell you what to do. It becomes part of your team. It's one arm of your team that will create a framework for you to move forward faster. But if the values are not aligned, this is not going to work. And yeah, maybe you want the shiny object, but look what all the values, yeah, have this shiny object attached to it. And if everything ticks, maybe that could be your good mentor. But if it's not, try to find. And there's the other thing that I want to your opinion on this, Amy. People say, well, my mentor have to achieve already what I want to achieve. Well, but there is a polemic with this because you know Usain Bolt, do you know the runner? Okay, his mentor, his coach, he doesn't run faster than him. Or Michael Phelps, the swimmer, they all have mentor, they all coach. And on the other hand, when they win the gold medal, the first thing they say is thank you to my coach, thank you to my mentor. So
Yes.
probably mentor, it doesn't, you know, if you are a millionaire, right? You necessarily need a multimillionaire mentor or coach, or there is a difference between mentorship and coaching, or you need someone that actually knows how to guide you and create some framework so you can move forward and get to your solutions. What is your opinion on this, Amy?
Yes, very much so. I agree with all of that. They need to be someone who can speak to you as the individual. That's the other problem we see out there with coaches and things is they're speaking to everybody like they're the same person. Well, if we bring in my first point, which is self-belief. If you speak to someone who has high self-belief, the same way you speak to someone who has low self-belief, you are causing a detriment to that person. So it's very important that someone can speak into your individual life. And even number four, systems. I love that you brought Michael Phelps in. Could you imagine if Michael Phelps's coach told him to just go swim around in the pool, see what happens? No, he brings in systems. They are tracking, measuring every day, every time he got into that pool to see if he is getting better, worse, what little nuances that could come in. So that if you can have a mentor that can put systems into place and get you to
And
do
measure.
those systems and get you to measure it, that is a good mentor. That is a good leader. And that's exactly, I'm so grateful to say, that is what Alan does for me. He has a whole Google spreadsheet for me. And I was never one to track habits, metrics, anything like that. But now that I have seen, I was actually really resistant to it at first. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that, Alan. I don't know if I want to track everything. I was very against kind of the
We all resist.
Yeah.
Who wants, imagine, our whole goal as the entrepreneur is fill our own calendar, and then they're gonna be tracking what we're doing. Of course.
Yes. Well,
Who's
that's,
not
I
gonna
think, the
resist? Who's not
misconception.
gonna? You're not gonna resist this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the misconception of the
Certainly.
entrepreneur. That's such a misconception of entrepreneurship is, oh, I'm going to have so much time freedom. I'm going to be able to like be my own boss. No, if you have customers and services, now you have a pile of bosses because you are accountable to them. You are more accountable as an entrepreneur than you ever were as an employee. So you need to be able to take that on and know what that's going to take. And it takes
Yeah.
systems, metrics, measuring, habits, all of that. And that brings in number three. If you can't be consistent at the systems you have in place, you will not achieve the end goal.
Well, until you increase your sales, right? Because this happened to me, right? To one of my companies, the property we managed to sell over 5 million and doing rent in London. And then one day I arrived to the office and my manager told me, Harry, go home. We don't need you anymore. We can run all this company without you. And the first day I was like, that got fired from my own company. But then the second day I was so happy, right? And the truth was that my manager is all girls, by the way. Of course, we bring boys after, but I took the lead. She was managers, right? Myself. They were honestly better than me at everything. They were better than me finding the houses. They were better than me selling the house. I was telling to everybody, you won't believe my sales people. They're selling so fast. If for me it was so much, whatever it take me like 2 weeks, they were doing in a day like that. And more expensive. I'm like, guess how you do this? How come you doing this? So at the end of the day, they were better than me at everything. And but I talk about ego because there is a transition there. At the beginning, because you're an entrepreneur, you don't know what you're doing, and you have that ego. And let's don't get it wrong. We all have ego, because otherwise we won't be an entrepreneur. We think that we can do better, so the ego is there. However, because you don't know what you're doing, especially me, when I started my first business, I have any clue about anything. I'm going, as soon as I brought the team, I'm going with this. I created this character. Look, I'm a big deal here. Everybody had to do what I say. I'm the big boss here. And after 1 year and a half, I'm so exhausted, cannot sleep, because I have 177 clients. They all want to speak with Harry because, it was a property thing. So you're going to bring a friend. If your mom is coming, they knew that there is one person, Harry, that they can get away, and they won't have any problem to speak with me at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. If this is the time that I can, they will stay awake. I'm thinking, these people are going to kill me. And then I have all the managers asking me questions and the team. And then out of survival, we change the dynamic and say, okay, what if you guys have a problem, just bring the solution. Then you pick your favorite. And if it works for it, if it doesn't, we try something else. I'm thinking like this, I can sleep. And then I called Eva, which was my manager. I said, Eva, from now on you're Harry. She's like, what? Yes, you are Harry. What do you mean? I said, look, everybody want to talk to me. They talk to you, and you do whatever you want. I don't need to tell me, but make sure the phone call. So little by little, I surrendered this. I'm the big deal, and I'm the big boss. Everybody do what I say, which I end up exhausted and so tired, and I was even angry, getting fat. All this was happening. But when I surrendered and I allowed my team to grow and to become leaders themselves, it was to a point so amazing that they sent me home. She was coming to report once a month to tell me what she was doing with my business. So, Amy, what do you think about develop leadership in the organization, and also the ego of the entrepreneur, that the two faces. Okay, the faces that I'm a big deal. Everybody has to do what I say. Well, you know what? You are the big deal. How can I help you to do your job easy? Yeah, and like this, you guys can send me a holiday forever.
Yes, yeah, I think a lot of leaders need to go through that first to expand from being the boss to being the leader. Right? There's such a different energy to that. And one of the most important laws of leadership is humility and recognizing when someone can do something better than you can. That should get you so excited because now you can delegate that thing to them and you can double down on what you do best. And that's such a wonderful partnership, and that's a really beautiful way to lead. And so I think that that is always such a valuable tool, is to have humility to help combat that ego.
So, what message do you have for these leaders, CEOs out there that they think they're going up to the big multinational, big company, thinking that they're the big deal, that everybody have to do what they say, and there is, like if you don't achieve this number this quarter, I'm gonna fire 10% of the company, and a lot of crazy things that you see, not only in small
Yeah.
organization, but medium-sized and large organizations. So, what message do you have for? And then, yeah, the company is moving and it's making some money, but it's so much resistance. You go, I train a lot of corporate companies, and once you open the door, you can feel the tension, you can feel the friction, you can feel that. And then you ask to a CEO, look, you guys making money. And then you see a balance sheet, they're making money. But when you go there, it's like they're making the money, but with so much friction
Yeah,
and so much
you're
resistance that you can feel it on the air. When you go to other companies, you open the door and say, guys, you're making money. Yeah, we're making money. We're going to make more. And you say, wow, they're flowing. That's amazing. So
yeah.
what is the difference? And what can
It's
be done?
culture. I would ask them if they care about the culture of their company. Is their culture run in bullying and guilt and shame? And how do they feel about that? Or is it through mission? Are you gathering people on a mission and they want to come with you because they believe in your mission so much? Or are they forced to come with you out of fear and scarcity? Are you leading with
Mm,
fierce and
mm,
scarcity, or are you leading with abundance and actual leadership? That would be my first thing. And then I would ask them, are you fulfilled? Not are you happy?
mhm,
Are you fulfilled? Your numbers, use numbers you're bringing in every day might make you feel happy for a moment, but are you fulfilled? Are you growing? Are you contributing? And what is your quality of life like?
mhm. Very good, Amy, because from this podcast, we want all entrepreneurs to be healthy, wealthy, and happy, right? And if your company can be making money, my company was making money. And I was so miserable. I was getting fat. I was angry. I was sleeping very only 4 5 hours because I had to do everything. I was the big
Mm.
deal doing everything, taking all the decisions. The money was there, but my state of mind and the energy in the company was not there at the beginning. I didn't know any better because my parents are teachers. They're not entrepreneurs. There's no entrepreneurs in my family, so I didn't know what I was doing. But really, little by little, out of survival and out of this, about being so happy, I genuinely was so happy for my team when they were doing better things than me. That I was telling everybody, I said, "You're not gonna believe what they're doing." I was so happy that, and they were happy also. That's why
Yes, of
that,
course.
yes, I used to go to the office. I say, Harry, come on, man. What are you doing here? Go home. I said, look, I'm coming here to help. No, 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 no. Go home. They were telling me the only problem in this company is you. Go home. My manager said, you are the only problem in this company. Go home. We tell you it's fine. Travel the world, do whatever, it's fine. And they were amazing. Anyway, the whole point is that culture. Okay. And I remember that I started to do this transition because in my mind, I hated the idea that they're gonna go out and party Friday and not take me with them, you know. And obviously, if you start with this thing, I'm a big deal, I'm a big boss, everybody has to do what I say, I wanted to be part of the group. I wanted to genuinely want to be part of the group, want to be, if they're having fun, I want to be with them, and they were my team, right? And then I was terrified. That was my biggest nightmare. I said, if the guests going out, for a drink or whatever, and they don't invite me, I'm failing in this thing, right? So I start to give them more generally more responsibility and see the strength that they have. Okay. And culture, I remember that we were very little and we were selling on million a lot of money and we were only few people, right? So I decided that we're gonna be flexible because in the end of the day, I need results, yeah. And sometimes the guests come to me, Harry, we're gonna go. Apart that they have their own month of holiday. Say, Harry, we're gonna go on holiday on December. Say, you gonna go on holiday on December? Yes, okay. But you already took your month holiday. No, we're gonna go holiday. You wanna go holiday? Okay, good. This is what we're gonna do. You rent all the rooms, okay? That is available. Make sure nobody leaves. And in that period of time, I'm thinking it's Christmas holiday. Nobody's gonna leave anyway because everybody's celebrating. So that's it. If you do the job, what's the point for me to have you sitting in the office if already, okay? You want your Christmas thing? Okay, this is the target. And you won't believe me, they will run like crazy and they will achieve the target. Target that seems impossible, not to me, but they will make sure that everything was done, the target that is done so the company doesn't lose. And I say, you know what? Who cares? That's it. They can go. And then, yeah, they were having the flexibility that they achieve targets. They have more free time. That's what they wanted. And I said, fine. So, and I think attracting talent now more than ever with the online and everything, we have to be more flexible in terms of culture, right? All the millionaires that I interview in this podcast, every time that I ask them, what would you be different? You need to start all over again. They always telling me culture. If I knew that's going to be hard, I put more attention in culture. However, Amy, it's a problem there because when you start a business, it's not the same culture when you have 5 people, that you have 10 people, when you have 50 and you have 100, that you have, right? So tell us how or what is your view in keeping the culture, keeping up with culture, facing exponential growth? What
Yeah,
entrepreneurs come?
you touched on understanding what motivates people. So finding out what motivates your people is really, really important. Coming in and understanding what even drew them into the company in the first place, and to make sure that that's still a thing. So me going into NLU, let's say, Alan always said, I refuse to become the person at the top of this industry, not healthy and not in love. So I will not sacrifice anything that is important to me. I will make sure that all of it builds along the way. And as a mother, as a wife, that was really valuable to me because my husband and my children are obviously very important to me. But I also have these dreams. And so
Absolutely.
him painting that picture, knowing that he's going to lead by example in that, everything. Everything. And just always painting the picture of the mission. Why are we doing this? Why are we coming together in this way? Because we want to help the world. I mean, I'll keep using our company as an example. We believe in personal development for the sake of your success. We believe that those two go together so heavily. And we also believe in
Me too.
nice. We also believe in free value as well. It's why the three of us, Kevin, Allen, and myself, come on podcasts. It's very important to us that the world has free value and things that they can tap into for their growth because not everything is accessible to everybody. Not, high level coaches are not accessible to everybody right away. And so to have free value in the world is such a gift. And that's a huge through line of what we do.
Yeah, you touch a good point as well. Like the good coaching sometimes is not affordable, is not available for everyone. So we have to do something about it. Yeah, train charities and organizations time to time in order to balance out things, right? And in terms of happiness and fulfillment, I think that the good thing about this job that we do is that sometimes on the street, there are, even I live in London, yeah, and I'm sitting in the metro. I always dress purple like this. So they very difficult to miss me, right? So they say, Harry, that you? Man, look, we need your conference. I did this thing. And look, my business, man, now it's growing. Let's take a picture. Let's get your book, man. I remember you say this. And then I arrive home and say, oh, my goodness, I don't. It's quite embarrassing when this happens. But then I arrive home and say, wow, it's amazing that I say something. I don't even remember where or when, but somehow I stick with him, and deeply change their life and make a big progress
Yes.
out of this. And you talk about fulfillment. The level of fulfillment
Mm.
that this thing give you and happiness is
Mm.
better than any money. You get paid with another currency. You get paid with the currency of love and appreciation. You feel so
Mhm.
happy that you don't even get sick.
Mhm.
You know, if
And
that
at the end of
energy
the
comes to you,
day,
right?
yeah, at the end of the day, the person that adds the most value ends up making the most money anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Mhm.
and sometimes maybe the person that will have to make all the money. Maybe what makes you happy is that all the people makes money. That all the because we have this wrong assumption like okay, we make sure everybody will we have in our bank account, right? I start with this podcast how to make the first million because why nobody will listen because that everybody cares. But this is a food to a more in-depth conversation how reality look like and what is it better to have a millionaire lifestyle than having actually a million in dollars or whatever in the bank account because look at you're very happy with your children with your husband with doing what you love. Yeah, do you
Yes, very
really need
fulfilled.
exactly do you really so how many millions more you need? Do you think that you should now start to sacrifice all that and tell me, Harry, you know what, I'm gonna cut 75% of the time of everybody that I love, and I'm gonna focus 75 to make more money, yeah, because I want to have a pile of paper in the bank. So how much really we need, how we balance our life, you as a coach, right? Because we have to live by example. Yeah, I have people that call me all the time, Harry, I have this business proposal, we're gonna make millions. I say, really? How long it how it's gonna take? Because I'm
Yes.
not canceling my tennis and my thing for anything in the world.
Yes.
So how much time? So just
So
tell
that's
us, do we really need
that
all these millions in the bank account, or do we need to have a healthy, fulfilled, and happy life? And
mm.
of course, wealth is part of it. What do you think?
I think wealth is a really important part of life and it gives you choices. I think that's the beautiful thing of money. It gives you choices to be the person you want to be. It allows you to say yes to things that you want to say yes to and no to the things that you don't. And I think that for the right people, that's a good thing. And so I would say there is no right or wrong. It's what do you value most? There are so many people in this world who have a lot of money, but they are very lonely and they are not healthy. If that doesn't matter to you, then absolutely go do that. It
Yeah, but
depends
then
what
what's the point to
matters.
make all this money anyway? Maybe it can give
Some
you a heart
people,
attack
right?
tomorrow. Oh
Some
yes,
people
tell
get to,
me
yeah.
about it. I'm dealing with them all the time.
Yes, some people get to the top and they're miserable and they're wondering why they're so miserable. They
Mm-hmm.
have the money, they did the thing, they reached the millions, they blah, 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 whatever it was, but they're so upset and they're so miserable. And whatever hole they were trying to fill is not full. And it's because they didn't do the work along the way to grow mentally,
Hundred
emotionally,
percent.
however that looks.
Hundred
Yes.
percent.
So there are, three really important ways to grow professionally and emotionally. And some people are really good professionally. They're very proficient, very excellent professionally, but they struggle emotionally and socially. And some
Mm-hmm.
people who do really well in this world do all three. They bring their emotional intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
their social intelligence into their business and it creates professional intelligence. But then you see people out who are really emotionally intelligent and social intelligence, but not professionally intelligent, so they don't make the impact and the money that they could make. So,
So,
which one is your best
mhm.
and which one needs the most work? And how can you pick one of those three pillars to start working on for the sake of having a well-rounded life?
So when do you realize any event in your life that actually you have to sit back and said, well, hold on a minute, I have to work on myself because let me tell you a story. I had too many business in the past. And then once I decided to open a restaurant, I'm fully hard Spanish stuff. But I didn't have any clue what I was doing. If you have a Spanish restaurant, you should put it Lola or Pepe. You never call it Happy, in English, it's a Spanish thing. So even the whole name started very confusing. And from there, I didn't have any clue what I was doing, you see? So then I opened Harry's Spanish Tapa. Long story short, 2 years of my life was inside there Monday to Sunday. I lost 200,000 pounds. And along with this, I lost the girlfriend that I had back at the time and all my friends around. And at the end of the day, I had to borrow this money back. I mean, some people jump out of the bridge. I don't do that, but I realized that, okay, you know what? There is something that had to I had to work on myself because why I did that to me, what without any necessity. By the way, my business was running autopilot, So why I go and jeopardize myself like that, right? So there was something in there that was not clear, and I realized after what happened is that yes, I made my business run in autopilot, but the process, the first 2 years to of that stress, tension, everything before I switched, it was still my emotions already were there. Okay, they were not released, and therefore then I go to another business, and because the emotions are there, I'm thinking, well, I need to go hard again. It's gonna be tough the first 2 years, and I'm thinking, oh my god, I cannot get that anyway. And then you take the wrong decision, and then the things work. And then everybody disappears. You're like, my goodness, only the money. Everybody. Also, I was thinking, well, I really did something wrong this time that nobody's around. I didn't know the measurements yet, but then I started to realize, okay, you know what? I have to work on myself. Number one, I didn't even know what I want, but I was sure what I didn't want. I didn't want to be 2 years anyway, Monday to Sunday in any place for any business. And even like now, I'm telling you, I don't, regardless whatever the proposal comes to me, it has to make sense for my lifestyle. For you, when do you have any incident in your life that you said, okay, hold on a minute, this thing didn't work. I need to start to work on myself. And to get where you are right now, okay, it's a process. Okay, we wish that everybody from the beginning get there, but some people never get there. El entrepreneurs, I told you, that's all I do in my life, talking with entrepreneurs all the time. And no, so much people, no, we wish that all of them get there, healthy, wealthy, happy, and fulfilled. But it's a process that is an individual choice to people that to work with themselves with personal development. So when do you have that breakthrough?
Well, I just want to touch on syntax of goals versus relationships is really important. Some of us are goals first, relationships second. Some of us are relationships first, goals second. So Michael Phelps, you brought him in. He has gold medals for a reason. He got in the pool every day, at least once a day. He had to miss birthday parties, miss social engagements. He chose his goals over relationships regularly, and that worked for him. In a way, he did a documentary where he talked about how traumatizing that actually was and how what it took to get the gold
Oh wow,
medal.
I want to watch it. What is it? The documentary.
You'll
Forget.
have to look at, I have no idea what it's called, but if you just look up Michael
I will.
Phelps documentary, he
Okay, I
talks
will look.
what it,
I have something
yeah.
to do now in the evening, baby.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank.
Perfect. Right. And so we all have to make certain sacrifices. There's no sacrifices that don't have to be made, but you get to decide which ones make the most sense to you. That's what really matters. Where, and this brings belief in. So there's three layers of belief, which I said was my number one. Self-belief is really, really important. Your level of belief of what you can create in the external world really matters when it comes to success. But there are layers to belief. Do I believe it's possible? Have I seen it out in the world? Do I believe it's possible to even do this thing? Do I believe it's possible for me? Those can be two different answers. And what you're talking about right now is it going to be worth it? Those are the three layers. And very rarely are people assessing the three layers. They want the shiny object at the end of the road, but they're not assessing if what it's going
What
to
is gonna
take
take?
is going to be worth it for them and the life that they actually want. Do they want the results of a gold medalist, let's say? Then you need to be willing to get into the pool every day, multiple times a day, and that needs to be okay with you. That needs to be your worth it. But if you are not willing to get in the pool every day and miss certain things, if you want to be the guy who's picking their kids up from school and stuff, your goals, or at least your timeline of the goal, might need to look a little different. And that's okay because you're going to be more fulfilled and more clear along the way. So you need to find out what this all means to you because that's the beauty of it. It's such an individual journey. Now, me, myself, I don't have a story per se outside of dealing with chronic illness when I was young. I
Oh
was
wow.
emotionally and socially developed. I was very emotionally and socially developed. I'm actually not very professionally developed. I am now, but I wasn't. And I am now because I took on mentorships and leaderships and things from people like Alan, from people like Kevin. And so I was an asset to the team coming into this because I'm so emotionally and socially developed. I'm a facilitator of great experiences. I can cultivate an incredible culture. That's all social and emotional intelligence. Alan has come in and taught me like professional intelligence as well. I now teach people business, funnels, flywheels, all sorts of things. I help
Oh
people build their
wow.
businesses out all the time.
Wow.
But I had to learn that. That wasn't what my natural skill was. I had to learn that third pillar, and that's one I'm still learning, right? We all have one that maybe comes a little more natural to us. Alan, his natural pillar is professionalism. So he's really had to work on the social and emotional aspect. So we all have a home. And then how can you build and leverage that home? I was the person who could come into this team and be this person on this team because of my emotional and social intelligence. And then I was so willing to learn, so humble in the fact that I didn't know these things, that I was able to learn them. And so, again, where are you? What pillar are you in? And on the journey that you are looking to take, are you just looking at the end goal, or are you assessing the worth it factor along the way and what that looks like? Is it conflicting with your core values? Is it conflicting with your core beliefs? Make sure that they're all aligned. The biggest advice I always give people is to become the most self-aware person you can be, because then you know you're going to be able to answer those questions with so much certainty because you know your values, you know what fulfills you, you know all of this stuff, and then you can create a life from there.
Amy, I think you're brilliant. Yeah, I only believe that. And I also know that you are a great speaker. I can tell because I do this for a living, so I can smell it. Yes. If somebody will love to see you speak, yeah. I'm so old, I've trained so many speakers, and I can tell when I'm in front of a great speaker, and you definitely are one. Um, if somebody want to see you speak, if somebody want to join your mentorship, your coaching, want to have that energy, that love, that they are aligned with your values. Maybe people listening here and say, hey, you know what? I need time for my family. I need time for my children. You see, somebody's listening, a mom, they have those values aligned, your values aligned with their. Well, how people can find you, how this process work. Can you tell us a little bit more details about this?
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah,
Oh, you're
anyone can
brilliant.
reach out to me. Oh,
They
thank
should be
you.
reaching out to you.
I appreciate that so much. So I'm just at Amy Lenius on Facebook and Instagram. My DMs are always open if you have any questions and want to have a conversation. The first call with me even is always free. You can pick my brain. I'm happy to just help you create some sort of outline, understand your self-belief, your self-worth, whatever that looks like. And then if you continue to work with me, you do. If not, I'm still going to send you all the love. But I
I
help
can tell.
people find their version of success. Now, especially women, I love bringing in women's cyclical nature, helping them understand themselves on a mental, emotional, physical level for the sake of their goals and their success. I help mothers create small businesses. I help people create bigger. It's very much. But like you said, the through line is I value family. I value my home life. I value my fulfillment. I value my peace deeply. And yet I'm still able to come in and have this successful career. And I help others do the same. So if that is something you want to explore through core values, core beliefs, core aspirations, self belief, self worth, all the things, core wounds. Oh my gosh, I could go on. I would love to be that person for you, or at least have you pick my brain about it if you're curious.
Oh yes, do it because this. Thank you so much, Amy. This broadcast has been fantastic. Yeah, you're one of us. So from this podcast on Stop, we're rooting for you big time. Yeah,
Thank you.
we are rooting for you big time because you believe what we believe. Well, it's what I believe. Because at the end of the day, the time and the fact that you can design your life in a way that how you want to design it, right? And it's so much out of the ordinary. Like the other days, I done salsa in London in the park, yeah, and which is something I have away from my entrepreneurial thing. And then I was dancing salsa in the park, and then we take a break, and one guy, my friend from dancing salsa, he said, "Look, I'm going to India." And so, "You going to India?" He said, "Yes, I'm going to India for a week." I'm like, "Man, how come for a week? Go there a month or two. From London to India, you're also gonna go a week, go 1 month or two. It's too far." I'm thinking, wow, just if I'm gonna spend all this money, I go 2 months at least. And the guy told me, "Harry, the problem is that I only have 7 days of holiday." And it hit me so hard how
Yeah.
disconnected I am from reality. Because I always talk with entrepreneurs, surrounded by entrepreneurs, people like you, right? That that it brings me to reality how actually is out there, and how lucky I am that I managed to create my life. It's not perfect, but to create a life that can be in my terms, and with the people that I like, and do a few things that other people unfortunately cannot do. So Thank you so much, Amy, and for all of you following the broadcast. See you in our next episode of Unstoppable. How brave entrepreneur like Amy break the wall and achieve first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.